4 years ago, I was at the airport in San Francisco, and I remember talking to a French guy then. It was just after I was laid off from Yahoo, and I was trying to figure out ways I could stay in the US, get a visa to stay in the US, and potentially do what I love the most, and maybe start my business, but I wasn't sure at the time. And then this guy would say, oh, what about you get the E2, the investor visa, to develop your business in the US? So this visa is a visa when people want to start their business in the US. And I remember I was like, what? Me? Starting my own business? At least it was inside of me what I was thinking. No, I don't think I have what it takes to do that. I don't think I can be an entrepreneur. For me, it was just so far away from my notion of myself. Like, I remember when he said that, I'm like, no, this is for these people there who are entrepreneurs, starting their startup and all that. It's not me. And it's amazing for me to think that now, 4 years after, it's kind of actually really amazing. It's hard even for me to believe that I'm living in the US, in California, and I have my own business, and I have a thriving coaching practice. And I started my own business. And I'm like, oh my God, only 4 years ago what I'm doing, actually, I am an entrepreneur. And the reason I'm saying that to you now is for you to notice how amazing sometimes we have some beliefs so ingrained in us, like this one, that we believe this is the truth. We take them for granted. So we collapse the limiting belief about ourselves and the truth, and we believe it so much that we think it's the reality, and it kind of block ourselves from going after what we want the most and for expressing our full potential in the world, and seeing there are stuff that are totally inaccessible for us and will always be inaccessible because of who we are and that we don't have what it takes. So I'm gonna give you some tips based on my own journey about how to identify the limiting belief and how to go beyond this, because I was able, obviously I was able to go beyond that, and now being able to say I am an entrepreneur and I am a successful entrepreneur. And it's amazing for me to think that actually I'm doing a business coaching program to help me develop my business right now, and I am one of the most successful people in the program. I'm like, me? And it's so amazing, and people on the outside are just like, wow, you're good at that. So I really want to help. So I'm gonna give you some tips. The first tip I want to give you is, first of all, develop awareness of your limiting belief. Like, notice, just notice what they are. So it can be, for example, oh, I don't want what it takes to become an entrepreneur. And I'm just giving an entrepreneur as an example. It doesn't have to relate to you. It doesn't mean you want to become one, and it's totally fine. You can have also, I've heard from some of my clients, oh, I don't have what it takes to be a leader, when actually I see clearly some really leadership skills. And you're like, I don't think I have what it takes. Or it can be, oh, I love so many things. I don't think, I'm gonna be able to find one thing, or what my life purpose is, or something very clear, because I have so many things I love. Or, look, so what I invite you to do right now is, for yourself, think about, and I invite you to journal as well, what are some of these beliefs that you bought for yourself so much that you think they are hard truths about yourself and your life. And this might be actually a hard exercise to do, and it's okay, because sometimes we buy them so much and we identify ourselves so much with them that it's hard to take distance to actually see, oh, this is a limiting belief about myself. And it's okay right now, it's hard for you to do that. Just notice what you think you are not good at or you can do. Like, for me at the time, I was just like, yeah, I don't think I can be an entrepreneur. And don't try to force it to see, oh, I should change this belief, it's wrong. It's not working that way. But first, becoming kind of awareness about what are some of these limiting beliefs for yourself. And also, kind of notice when people give you feedback outside. And it might be a good way for you to ask for feedback on people. What do you think? Are they qualities you have in you, because you may notice some discrepancy between what people say and what people say about you and what you think about yourself. And I remember at some time somebody telling me, oh, you have a lot of initiative and all of that, and I think you can be a great entrepreneur. And for me, was noticing the gap. So notice the gap between sometimes what people tell you about you and what you think about yourself. Just as an awareness, you know, if this can be a good way to become aware of some of your limiting beliefs about yourself. Also, I invite you to think about, kind of question them. Even if right now we may not be able yet to say, no, this is not true. See, what if that was not true? What if that was actually a belief I constructed by myself that is not true? Just as a way to start questioning yourself and be really gentle with yourself. It's not to start already going far away. I'm gonna get rid of this belief. You know, the human psychology doesn't work this way. When you try to be like, I want to get rid of this part of me, no, it doesn't work. The more you are accepting about your functioning and even the part of yourself you don't like, the more it's going to be easier to change your behaviors. It doesn't work like, I want to get rid of this behavior and it's going to go away. On the contrary, I would think it reinforces the behavior. Another tip for you is really focus on what you truly want. Focus on your desire. I remember at the time for me, I had this belief and I was noticing it and I couldn't really do anything about it. Like, it was still there and I was becoming aware of it. And the thing, I started really spending a lot of time focusing, what do I really want? And I knew for a long time, I was like, oh, I have this longing to do work I really love. And I have this longing to use my natural gifts to help people and to help them identify what their strengths are, what their talents are, what their dreams are, so that they can do the career they love. And by focusing a lot on that, I was like, wow, I was getting excited. I'm like, oh, I really want to make that happen and I want that. So I starting to find what are, small steps I can take to get there without necessarily focusing on the entrepreneurship. It was on the side. Okay, I have this belief, but let's see what I can do right now to help me get closer to that goals. And this allow you to just not start for me putting so much energy on the belief that you cannot maybe change right now, but focusing on your true desire to get excitement, to go in the direction of that, and to have the desire become so much bigger than the fear and the belief that you cannot help move forward. You have to do something about it. Another tip for you is in the same idea, for you to move forward despite the limiting belief. You know, it's like a bit where you say sometimes, feel your fear and do it anyway. It's kind of the same idea, is because the limiting belief, maybe you might be able to it might be able to disappear right now, but sometimes they are so ingrained in us that we actually need to make steps and to actually show actions for the limiting belief to disappear. In my case, for example, it's just only right now that the reality is that I have a striving coaching practice. And this, because it's real now, this helped me to see, oh wow, this belief about myself is not true. And it's because I have achieved it that I'm able to question the belief. But before that, it was kind of harder for me to do. So, and if you wait until the limiting belief maybe goes away, maybe you're never gonna get steps. So the idea is to move forward anyway, not in the sense like, I don't care, I'm gonna start an entrepreneur on my own because I don't think even if I don't think it's possible. It's not what I'm saying. And by the way, I'm mentioning the case of entrepreneur, but it can be something else. Like, it can be, take whatever resonate with you. It can be being a leader, it can be using specific talents of yours. And so the idea for you is to, okay, I have this limiting belief, and for now it's very strong, or maybe it's medium or something, and I'm gonna continue making steps. What I can do for myself right now to help and to move forward and get support. And at the same time, this goes to my fourth tips about that, getting help. And because it's amazing, there is so much negative belief about getting help that have us stuck in the same area and we don't do anything. And I've heard a lot for clients. For example, I remember one person wanting to work with me and say, yeah, but I should be, my friend told me that I should be able to figure it out on my own. Like if I follow my intuition inside, I'm going to be able to figure it out. So yes, there is some truth in that. Like if you follow your intuition, you may have already the answer inside of you, but you need help. And I want to tell you, one of the reasons I have a thriving coaching practice right now, and I'm talking to you at this moment, is because for the past 3 or 4 years, I've gotten freaking help, a lot of help. You have no idea, you have no idea how much I got help to go through my inner blocks, my fears, to go also a business coach, and I'm doing a business coaching program to help me, how can I market myself? How can I get clients? Because yes, I'm good at what I do, but I have no idea. Marketing is really not my strengths. And I wouldn't be here today talking to you without that. So, if you have this belief that if you are a good leader or if you're a good entrepreneur, naturally, you don't need help. You need to do that on your own. If you are not able to do that naturally, it means that you don't have what it takes to do that. Okay, bullshit. So please know that this is total bullshit. And what I'm not used to your word like that, but I'm starting because this is really not working for you. And what I mean, of course, there might be some people out there who are maybe natural at being entrepreneurs or natural leaders, that they go and do it naturally. But it's a minority of the population. And it doesn't mean you don't have what it takes to do it or to become a great leader. And the idea is that you need help. Like, for example, being an entrepreneur or being a leader, there are stuff, even if you have talents or you are good at, there are stuff that you need to know you cannot improvise on your own. And it's kind of not true to think, oh, I can do that and I don't need help. And it doesn't mean you are not a good whatever leaders by getting help. It's how to make the most of your potential. And especially if you have a lot of negative conditioning about your own ability and your own strengths. Like, for example, in my case about entrepreneur was one, because it's a lot of negative conditioning coming from my past and all of that. You even need more help to help you kind of deconstruct this negative belief about yourself. So it's not something that you can do, okay, I'm going to do that, it's going to disappear on its own. No. The last tips I want to give you is about taking the time to look back and celebrate what you have accomplished and help you see that actually you have been able to go past your limiting belief. So in my case, for example, it's because right now, with you at this moment, I'm able to think, I'm taking the time to think, oh my God, wow, 4 years ago, I had no idea I would be doing that, or even 10 years ago. And it's because I'm doing that I'm able to realize, wow, that was really a false belief. And that means that I'm able to go beyond that. And what I'm learning from that is I'm learning that what is my next step? What is my next limiting belief that is limiting me from my next expansion? For example, my ultimate goal is to give and dream is to be able to give inspirational talks in French and in English around the world. And when I say that, I'm feeling in my stomach, oh my God, it's scary. I don't know if I can do that. So all the limiting beliefs come in for me. And for me, realizing, oh wow, I've been able to go past one of my limiting beliefs now. So it means, wow, I can do that more in the future. So it's so important for you to take the time, and you can do that right now, to think, what are things in the past that you thought would never happen for you, that would like no way, and that have actually happened for you, showing that there were actually more limiting beliefs that you had rather than truth. So this is kind of my last tips for you, and I really invite you to think about that and go beyond your limiting belief, and really know that most often what you think is the truth is actually not. It's all the kind of inner truth that you have constructed for yourself, which is different than what the truth and the reality is for you.